Okay, we're going to solve the following exercise. The exercise is the number 2.3. The magnitude FA equals 80 pounds, and the angle, we can call this as alpha, equals 65 degrees. The magnitude FA plus FB equals 120 pounds. Graphically determine the magnitude of FB. This is the situation here. Refer to the following diagram when solving problems 2.3 through 2.5. So in this case, I can use this diagram. The first vectors FA, FB, and FC lie in the same plane. Okay, this is pretty important because I can assume that every single one of them is in the same plane. So there is something I should recommend here, and is to use the diagrams that the problem is giving us, because I've made the mistake of rewriting, of redoing the sketches, and that is going to take a lot of time. And if you are in a test, and if you are doing something against the clock, then you have to be fast. So the faster way to do this is to use the diagram that the problem is given to you. Okay, so this is telling me that FA plus FB magnitude is equal to 120. So the first thing that I have to take into account here is a way to see this addition. Okay, so I'm gonna add these two vectors graphically. What I'm going to do here is to project the FB vector right here, and right here I'm going to project the FA vector. Okay, as you can see here, this same vector is this one, and this vector is the same as this one. So the result will be this one. This vector is what they are calling the magnitude of FA plus FB. Okay, now what I'm going to do here is to write down the information that the problem is giving me. So FB equals, I think that was FA, so sorry. FA equals 80 pounds, and this equals 120 pounds. And I'm looking for FB. Okay, I'm going to move this a little bit. So I'm going to delete this because I'm going to start drawing on the diagram, so I need the space. So this is equal to 80, this is equal to 80. And this is equal to 120. Okay, and I need the value or the magnitude of FB. In this case, what I'm going to do is to start drawing some triangles. I gotta look for triangles because those are the ones that are going to give me a way for me to get the result that I need. Okay, here I have a triangle, here I have another triangle, here I have another triangle, here I have another, and here I have another. There's a lot of triangles right here, and those are the ones that are going to help me solve the exercise. So what I'm going to do now for teaching purposes, for teaching means, what I want to do is to redo the sketch of a triangle that I need. Okay, remember that you can do this on the same diagram, but I want to do it here for you to be sure that, for me to be sure that you are understanding correctly. I'm going to use purple for this part, and this is the first triangle that I needed. This triangle is the same this triangle. Right here I have this, and right here I have this first vector. So I'm going to need the magnitude of FB. I already have this 80, and for me to get this magnitude I'm going to need this measure. This is the same measure. Okay, I'm going to call that measure X, and I'm going to need this other measure. I'm going to call this magnitude F, although I already know this angle, which is 65 degrees, so I may not need the two of them. I don't think so. Let me, okay, I may need those. So I already have an angle and I need the hypotenuse of the triangle. So I'm going to use, for example, the sine. Why is that? Because it's easier for me since I am going to use this measure later. So let me show you what I'm thinking. The sine of 65 is going to be equal to F divided by FB, right? Since this F is the same F. Now I have my first equation. I'm going to call it equation number 1, and I'm going to use this second triangle. Right here I have the 80, and right here I have this other part of the triangle. As you can see, I'm using this triangle. Okay, so this is 80, this is 120, this is equal to F, and this is equal to X, right? Because this measure is the same as this one. Okay, so after all, I'm going to need to solve the equation for me to get the X value, because from this diagram what I'm getting is the next equation. So 120, because of Pythagoras theorem, is equal to the square root of 80 plus X evaluated to the second power plus F evaluated to the second power. Okay, right now I have my second equation, and as you can see I have one incognita, two incognitas, and three incognitas. I need 3 equations for me to solve the exercise minimum. So I have only 2. I have to get the last one, and I'm going to use once again this diagram for me to find the last one. In this case I'm going to use cosine of 65 is equal to X divided by FB, and this is going to be called my equation number 3. Okay, using these 3 equations I'm going to start solving the 3 incognitas that I need. So from equation 3, 2 points. I'm going to solve the equation for FB, for example. So in this case, FB is going to be equal to x divided by cosine of 65. And this is going to be my equation number 4. Now, I'm going to evaluate 4 in 1. So since this is equal to this, I'm going to replace this FB with this. Okay, so sine of 65 is equal to F divided by FB. In this case, FB is equal to x divided by cosine of 65. Everything looks good so far. Now what I'm going to do here is to solve this equation for f. I think that's better. So f solving, this is my question number 5. Solving 5 for f. So I'm gonna get something like f is equal to x divided by cosine of 65 times the sine of 65. Then I can see this as this, x divided by 1 multiplied by sine of 65 divided by cosine of 65. Then I'll have f is equal to x multiplied by tangent. I usually write tangent like this of 65. Okay, and this is going to be my equation number 6. Now I'm going to evaluate equation equation 6 in 2. So right here I have 120 equals square root of 80 plus x evaluated to a second power plus x times tangent of 65 evaluated to a second power, and this is a square root right here. I could start playing with this equation for me to solve the x value, but what I'm going to do here is to use the calculator. Okay, so I'm going to call this equation number 7. Now solving 7, equation 7, number 7 for x. I'm going to write down the equation right here. So I have 120 is equal to, equals the square root of 80 plus, in this case my incognita, I'm going to call it x evaluated to the second power plus x multiplied by the tangent of 65, and this is evaluated to the second power. I have to check right here that that I have right here the degrees, because I'm using degrees, and then I'm going to press shift and use this option called solve. I'm going to press equal. This is going to solve the equation for me, and this is equal to 26 point x is equal to 26.12203. I'm going to save this value in the storage of the calculator, so I'm going to press shift storage and press A. I don't think that worked. Nope. So I'm going to press answer, since this is the answer. This is not the same thing. I think that I've erased the value. So I'm going to write down the number. Okay, I don't care about that. I'm going to use 4 significant digits after the comma. Since this is a 0, this is not important, although I'm going to leave it there. So I have my first answer. X is equal to 26.1220. Now I'm gonna start using the equations that I've done before. So in this case I'm going to use the equation 6. So using equation 6, f is equal to x multiplied by the tangent of 65. Since I already have the value of x, f is equal to 26.12 2 times tangent of 65. This is equal to 56.0188. And I have the second value. And since I have these two values, I think that I can get the value of FB. Well, actually, just with the value of f, I can solve the equation for me to get the value of b. Because from equation number 3 or number 1, I can use either the value of x or the value of f. So whatever, in this case I already have this equation solved for FB, so I'm gonna use this using equation 4. FB is equal to x divided by the cosine 65. So I was right at the beginning of the problem. I just need to solve one of the incognitas for me to solve the exercise. So looking for this part was not necessary. Although I'm gonna leave it right there because some of you may need to or want to look for this value if you are using maybe the first equation. So that would be how f could be found. So 26 times 122 26.122 divided by the cosine of 65, and this is equal to 61.8099. Since we are talking about pounds, this is equal to pounds. And this is the solution to the exercise, guys. Now we're going to check the value. We're going to review that this is okay, and one way for me to know that this is okay is by using a software. In this case, we are going to use CATIA V5. So I'm going to start mechanical design. Remember that in the channel you have some tutorials of how to use this software. Right here I have this. I'm going to start creating some lines. So in this case I'm going to create this line, this line, and the line that I need right here. I'm going to start doing this. This is equal to 65 degrees, I think. Yep, 65 degrees. Right here I have a measure of a length of 120. This is equal to 80. And the thing is, how am I going to know the length of this? Okay, I'm going to project the lines that I already have. So this is equal to 80. Coincidence right here. And right here I have this measure. Coincidence, something is not correct. Let me do it again. Going to eliminate this to connect this point with this point. Coincidence. And I'm going to create a line right here, and that line has a measure of 120. Although this point and this point must be coincidence. Okay, so I already have everything I need. This is FB, this is FA, this is also FB, and this is also FA. Now I have to take this and put it as a reference. So FB is equal to 61.81. If I use this value, I can approximate this value to 61.81. Okay, since I have a 9 right here. So that would be all, guys. This is the measure that we've been looking for, and this is how this exercise could be solved.